Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of The Pride, hopefully your new favourite Chelsea podcast. With me tonight, my illustrious co-host and cousin, Clark. How are you?
How's it going, bro? How's it going?
No, I'm pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty good. The weather was quite nice today. I'm a bit red, as you can see. I'm a bit sunburnt because I'm that pale. I do get sunburnt in February. But no, pretty good.
Excited to be here. Yeah. You know what? Not a bad day. Again, weather not too bad. Bit cold. Yeah. But all good. Glad to get this kicked off and going.
Yeah, for sure.
As Bo said, hope you guys enjoy. We're going to be running down of the latest Chelsea news every week. Bit of match reactions in between. If anything kicks off, obviously we'll get a video done on that as well. We are also on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. So wherever you want to listen or watch our ugly mugs, you can do. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, guys. So just to kick us off, we're going to sort of like introduce ourselves and tell you a bit of what we're about. I've been a Chelsea fan all my life. My dad's a Chelsea fan, and I've loved Chelsea ever since I was young. Got all the T-shirts and all the merchandise. I've been to a good few games, VIP and all that stuff. So you know. Just saying, but yeah, I think recent years, probably last 5-6 years, I've proper got into it. Before that, obviously, I had uni and everything like that. It sort of takes over, but now I'm sort of just Chelsea everything. Honestly, my mind every single day is just about Chelsea and Chelsea news, and I'm just addicted to watching reactions and podcasts myself about it. So I thought, you know what? Yeah. I want to express my opinion, even though my opinion may not be to your liking. But, I just wanted to put it out there. If everybody else can do it, why can't we? What about you, Bo?
Yeah, no, I'm very similar to you, really. Obviously, we are kind of about the same age, born in the same kind of area. My dad is also a Chelsea fan, so that transition was really easy. I'm definitely not one of those we got good in 2003 kind of fans. Definitely not. But yeah, I mean, one of my first ever toys as a kid, and I've still got it now, is called the Chelsea Man, which you've probably seen. A doll about yay big that has a Chelsea kit on. It was bought for me apparently from a charity shop 25 years ago for 50p. So I've still got that. I still hold that dear. But yeah, no, I've been to a few games myself. Not as many as maybe I would have liked to. But the tickets are expensive and that kind of thing. So yeah, not always possible. But I've probably watched every game. Similar to you. For the last, I've really got into football and Chelsea last 4 or 5 years. Actually, this story is so similar. It's almost weird. But yeah, literally, I slowed down a bit in uni. Because I was busy doing other stuff. But then, since I've kind of come back to normal life, I just same thing with you. Just listen to podcasts, probably 3 Chelsea podcasts a week. Watching every bloody YouTube channel possible, and exactly the same thing.
Can't get enough.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough of the Chelsea, and I always thought, maybe I could add something to the chat, to the conversation. So we are. Yeah, I think we're both veterans. We're long-suffering Chelsea fans. We've had a lot of fun the last 20. How old am I? I'm 28. I've had a lot of fun the last 28 years, and we've won a lot of stuff. But there are ups and downs, but we've been through it all.
Certainly on a down right now.
And that's a good segue. If we're talking about downs, shall we chat about the last game?
Yeah. Oh yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So West Ham versus Chelsea, London Stadium, 12:30 kickoff last Saturday, the 11th. Always dodgy, isn't it? The 12:30 kickoffs.
Very dodgy.
I feel like, I don't think players and fans have enough time to build up to the game, do they?
No.
Get enough drinks down them. Not the players, obviously, the fans. So they're always quite strange games, and I'm never fully confident when I see it. But we did have a very interesting lineup, didn't we? So I was excited.
We did. Going back to your point, sorry, I saw an interview with a few players the other day, and they said, when's your favorite time to kick off? And everyone said the late kickoff. So every single player on that interview, which was about 5-6 players, and they all said the 8 o'clocks, the R5s, they all like the late kickoff because it gets
Champions
you
League slot
into your day, So I think a 12:30 kickoff is just like, it's like hitting the ground raw, It's just like you're up and you're in. That's like there's no in between.
Out of bed.
Yeah,
you're still rubbing your eyes. And like, oh, by the way, you got a game in 5 minutes. Like, for God's sake, no.
Yeah. So we
lineup. How did you find the lineup? Because I saw it. You actually sent me the image of it, and you seemed quite excited.
Yeah. I mean, well, I say that now, bloody hell. In hindsight, not so much. With our lineup, I liked it because we were playing Mudryk, we were playing the Fernandez and João Felix back from his red card. So I was very excited for that trio to link up with the team again, and go for it. I was excited by Badiashile as well being back, and Reece James, my boy, come on, the Chelsea kid back on the team. So I was very excited about that because he's just a brilliant player. How do you find the lineup, mate?
Exactly the same thing. I was so excited. 5 new signings started together, which for any football fan is so exciting because. I love the signings almost as much as I love the actual games. I mean, it's so much fun. I definitely was buzzing. I was really excited to see Mudryk, alongside someone like Enzo. Enzo obviously had a great first game, so I was excited to see if he'd have a great second game. Spoiler alert, he did. And Felix, as you said, Felix coming back in as well after his 3-game ban. So buzzing about that. I was really excited. I was buzzing. I thought this is. Oh, and Loftus-Cheek started as well.
Loftus-Cheek,
which was which was a big surprise.
Big RLC.
So it was interesting and exciting. And I thought this is good. Like, this is not being super safe. This is like, all right, we've got all these cool new fun attacking systems of players. Let's just throw them together and see what happens.
Yeah, I liked it. I like throwing all the ingredients in and see what happens. You know what I mean? It might be tasty. Yeah, exactly. And I think it was very tasty.
The first half was nice.
You know what? The first half was so refreshing, and it looked like we was just playing football again. We was just free flowing. That movement. We got the overhead passes from Enzo mainly, and the first goal. Straight to Felix. That ball was amazing, and João Felix with that finish.
Yeah,
who do we have that does that?
Yeah,
come on,
no one. That's a big part of our problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like that first half, especially the first maybe 30, because we actually obviously scored 3. Well, we had the ball in the net 3 times, 2 offsides. One by Havertz, who by the way has the most offsides in the Premier League this season, and he's way ahead of number 2. By the way, let me just add that in. So no, I was buzzing. I thought this is, I can kind of. In a way, I can kind of look past results if the performances are good.
Yeah.
And that performance, that first 30 minutes was so fun. Like Enzo spraying long passes, Mudryk looking so quick. It hurt me to watch. Felix kind of popping up everywhere and anywhere, linking up with people. It was really fun.
There was such a different dynamic. From each player, and they all sort of just brung something new to the table. So refreshing. But we're talking about the good. We must talk about the bad. And Cucurella.
Oh, God. All right, let me prepare myself. So Cucurella was obviously terrible for the whole game. Even his terribleness didn't really impact the first half, notably for me, too much. And I'm sure you've seen it, or you may have seen it. But having said that, I've seen compilations clips of his performance in the first half, and the amount of times that he and Mudryk could have potentially linked up and played together, and he kind of missed those opportunities to time and time again. So in reflection, actually, yeah, he was actually a bit of an anchor to our performance,
Very much.
even though we looked quite dangerous.
Yeah, very much so. He was very backward playing for some reason. For some reason, just didn't want to pass. I mean, I don't know if it was Mudryk, because it has came out that there is no problem between them, but it just seemed like there was like a vendetta, like they've had a little spout, a little argument or something in the changing room, and Cucurella's been like, "Oh, you know what? Stuff you! I'm not passing to you." And it was either horizontal or backwards, and I think Kepa received the most passes from Cucurella than Cucurella passed to anyone else. So it was it was a bit of a madness.
That's shocking.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay, yeah. Well, it felt like it anyway.
Yeah, I felt
spiritually.
It felt like
no.
I don't.
Yeah.
So I think the second half, with the changes. The changes. So we've just said about Cucurella, right? You know, he's not passing to Mudryk. So what do? You change the left back, right? Who comes on? Big Chile, right? Yeah. Chile comes on, and who comes off at the same time? Mudryk. So again, we didn't see that link up that we wanted. We need to see the Ben Chilwell and Mudryk link up, because that left side will be filthy, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
I mean, within the first 5 minutes of Chile coming on, he was in the box. Like like he was just everywhere. Like I love it.
Yeah, he's so dynamic. I didn't say it, but let me just say it before we get into the second half. That Felix goal, Enzo's pass is everything I dreamed of in a player like Enzo. Like he has like the interceptions and the tackling of Georgie, but he's actually way more mobile. He doesn't run like a 12-year-old boy, basically like Georgie used to. And his passing range, and not even his passing range, but he's like he'll take the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like he'll see something and he'll go for it. He's not shy about trying.
He's not shy at all.
God loves a trier. All right, God loves a trier. And anyway, so that ball and that finish is that is what you get when you put two class players in the same team.
Exactly.
Even if your whole team isn't playing well, as we just said with Cucurella, if you've got two players like that who are just sick at football, and are levels above even other professionals, you'll get goals like that, because they know what to do.
They know what they're
so
doing.
Anyway,
it's that instinct, isn't it?
Exactly. Instinct. It's the surround a baller with other ballers, and everyone balls out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what you want. That's like, it's almost like Football Manager stuff, the kind of squad that we've got at the moment. But so we have to enjoy it while we can. But anyway, so second half, obviously things took a nosedive big time. We slowed down massively. I thought when I was watching it that it was West Ham who kind of like just dropped back some yards. It seemed like to me, and then basically just because we were doing a lot of, as you were saying, over the top balls, and a lot of players were getting sprung in behind, whether that be high or low through balls. But I thought it looked like West Ham dropped back a bit, maybe like 5 yards, so there was less space in behind. And I've seen analysis after the fact that actually they also stuck two midfielders on Enzo as well.
Yes, they
so
did,
he had just no space to breathe. I didn't notice that while I was watching the game. So I've done like 3 pages of notes, and for some reason that one doesn't come up. So that's funny. But so they completely nullified all of the things that were good about our first half. Quick long balls, dynamic, quick long passes, and Enzo just spraying the ball around and controlling the game.
You got to give him.
And we had nothing. That's what's so frustrating. We had no response. We just let it happen, and that was it. And it was a terrible second.
But
half.
then you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I know. I guess again that's football, isn't it? Like it's all about reacting to what other teams are doing. We also forgot to mention the goal that they scored in the first half.
Was that in the first half or the beginning?
That was, that was in the first half. Yeah, it was. God, we're terrible.
Oh my God!
See, this is what I mean. But the badness of the second half made me forget everything that happened in the first half.
Same.
Honestly, shocking.
Oh my God! You know what?
So
that
what do you
goal,
think?
very lucky. I think obviously great play. Reece James left it open, even though he's the boy, but he's just come back from injury. He's not played a lot of games. He's back on it now. But it just let it slip a little bit. just someone coming from the back post, little deflection of a header as well.
It was, yeah.
So it's just a cross, little deflection of the header. I think they got quite lucky with the goal, but it is what it is. That's football for you. Not everybody's going to be 100% all the bloody time. So I think it's a very lucky goal, but I think we should have scored more anyway. To nullify
definitely.
It. So,
it was a comedy of errors. Like Cucurella's terrible defending and positioning. Badiashile wasn't as close to Bone as maybe he could have been, but I'm not pro footballer, so And maybe Reece James or Noni kind of fell asleep a bit and let obviously Emerson come in at the back post. And then Emerson's to finish was a scuff shot anyway, and of course it finds its way in the back of the net because ex-Chelsea players love scoring against us. Yep. It happens every game.
And it was his first ever one.
It's in the Premier League. I know it's a joke. So I think I'm going to have to start. I'm not a betting man, but I'm going to have to start putting bets down on ex-Chelsea players scoring against us every time. So it seems like a guaranteed win.
It's like a reoccurrence.
A disappointing goal.
Yeah.
It happens so often. Yeah. Disappointing goal to concede, and obviously So that kind of set up the situation we had in the second half.
Yeah,
they probably thought, let's just stodge this game out. Let's not give them any space, any movement, and let's just play for the 1-1 because a point to them, West Ham,
massive
against Chelsea is massive. Yeah. Obviously to us, it almost feels like a loss.
Yeah, it does.
But anyway, so yes, sorry. Substitutions you brought up just a bit ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were chatting to each other at the time, weren't we? And
yes,
I was pulling my hair out when I saw the subs and who they took off for who. Obviously, Ziyech comes in. Oh. That makes me sick. And yes, Cuckoo comes off. Everyone rejoices. Chili's coming on. But then he takes off Mudryk as well. So there's no Chile Mudryk at the same time. So there's no... All I wanted to see was a bit of Chile Mudryk action, and we got none of that. And instead, Noni was shifted out to the left to play with Chile B. And was it Ziyech was on the right? To kind of try and link up with Reece James. These are the things that... these are the things that really frustrate me about what Potter's doing. These subs keep playing Ziyech, who doesn't clearly, obviously, as we all know, it's so obvious, doesn't want to be here and was literally out. He had a foot out the door days ago.
Yeah.
Why does he keep persisting? Why does he keep playing him? I just don't get it.
I have no clue, and you can just tell by the first 5 minutes he was on, he just did not want to play.
He stunk the place out.
He literally came on so many tiny little mistakes, some big mistakes here and there. Just didn't want to play at all. He just doesn't care. And I think him putting him on, he runs. All right, he runs. Well done, everybody else does.
Yeah, but I could run.
Exactly right. I could run.
Not a lot.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, same. Yeah. But do absolutely nothing. But you can't just say, "Oh yeah, I've done good because I've run." He'd done nothing. Yeah. He'd done absolutely zilch, and there was no input to the team. And I think the frustration was every single Chelsea fan could see this, except for Potter.
It's so obvious. Like I used to get really annoyed at Willian because I used to think that he was well overrated and that he used to run a lot and people like that.
Yeah.
But even Willian now, the 35-year-old Willian who's playing at Fulham, he's having a really good second half of the season so far. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think he was banging in goals or anything the first half of the season. But even he gives you more than Ziyech gives you. Ziyech is literally just... I can't really be bothered, especially now. I can't really be bothered. And all I want to do is receive the ball. And I'm on the right wing, and I've only got 1 foot, literally 1 foot. You may as well have a stump instead of a right foot, basically. And all he wants to do is cut in and then put an albeit decent ball into the box. But, we've got Shai Havertz up front.
Yeah.
We can't guarantee that ball's getting on someone's head and going in. So what's the point? Keep pumping balls in like that. It doesn't work.
There's no point.
So I don't ever want to see Ziyech play it again.
No, same.
And I mean that. It seems...
You're saying that, right? You're saying about the balls going in to the just being crossed, and that's where the dynamic of Reece James comes in. He was cutting in and actually passing through the back line of West Ham. He wasn't always, obviously there was crosses, but he wasn't always doing that. Whereas Ziyech it's just like a one-man band. Like that's all he can do. That's it. Like there's nothing else. What is there? I run down the wing. I cross. That's his game.
No, I know. He's a cutting merchant. Just like Robben was, who obviously was the king of the cutting on his left peg. But Robin had the athleticism, didn't he? Even when he was older, he was so quick with his feet and his dribbling, and his finishing was so good that it for years and years people couldn't stop it because he was so good at it. But yeah, Ziyech is slower. He's not entirely slow, but he's slower.
Yeah, he's
more of a passer, isn't he, than a dribbler?
Yeah.
He's not bad at dribbling, but I just it seems to me like he's obviously clearly a half decent player. But the reason why Ajax love him so much is because it's just not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, who are they playing every week? VVV Venlo and Herenveen.
Like, tough games.
Well, maybe Dutch league fans would say that. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I'm sorry, Dutch league fans, if you listen.
I'm not.
Eredivisie fans. Good, yeah, fine. So yeah, maybe that can run in that league, but it can't run in the Premier League. And I think he is one of a long line of players that we've signed over the years just aren't, that are good elsewhere, but just don't work in the Premier League. So
okay, so continue with the second half. We saw the most outrageous attempt at refereeing I've ever seen in my life, and that comes with Souček's amazing save for West Ham in the box with his hands.
Yeah, I mean, big lad, 6'4", Czech, Czech Republic player. So he could be like Czech. He might be as good as Czech. But yeah, no, I mean, it's sickening. It actually makes me feel ill. It was actually so bad that I didn't even get that angry. I just laughed at it because I was like, I can't believe this actually happened.
We was like, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Like
exactly. I mean, it's a joke. I don't know what to say. Like I don't, Premier League referees get paid decent money.
Yep.
VAR is probably a multi-million-pound industry and technology, and week after week, teams are getting shagged by just terrible decisions. And the one, like, even rival, it's mad when even rival fans who want to see you lose every game because they love it, even other fans were saying, I can't believe what I've just seen. Like, that's actually
even West Ham fans.
Even West Ham fans. It was so blatant. It was so blatantly a handball, especially in context of the last few seasons where, like, things will flick up off someone's thigh and hit him on the arm.
I wonder who that was, eh?
Yeah, like Reece James, exactly at Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, and get sent off for it. And yet, you're telling me somebody saw that with a slow-mo replay and thought, nah, that ain't a handball. Yeah.
Didn't even check it, by the way. They didn't even go through to the ref and go, hang on, hold up a minute, let's just have a little rewind. They just went, oh yeah, looks cushy, don't worry about it. What's going on there?
It's sickening. It's terrible. And and they made other massive mistakes for Brighton as well and Arsenal. And I know that they've actually the Pugmol, the Premier League kind of association, their unit, who's headed up now by Howard Webb. They actually released a statement apologising to Brighton and Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah. Where's ours?
But nothing for us, bruv.
Where's ours? The most blatant thing. And by the way, we'll just take it back to the first half quickly. Was it the first half or the beginning of the second half? West Ham had a very, very good. I mean, it was a goal, but it was so blatantly offside, and they took about 10 minutes to check it, just in case. But we're sitting at home watching this on a screen without all this technology. And we could see that, like, Rice was about 4 miles offside. Why has it took that long and you didn't even check the handball? Because that was a goal-scoring opportunity. So, therefore, that would have been a red card as well.
Shot on target. It wasn't the best shot from Gallagher, but I think it looked like it was on target. Anything can happen if you shoot on target. Exactly. You can score. The keeper could make a mistake. Fabianski's not that good.
Exactly.
So just every part of it is a joke. The amount of time it took them to check it and not give it, the fact that it wasn't given, the fact that it's even a subjective decision. Like, apparently, it's called football. It's called football.
Man used his arms.
He uses arms. He's not a goalkeeper. He uses arms. It goes against the actual, like, the laws of nature of football that are ingrained. Yeah. It's in the name, and apparently they saw that and thought, "Nah, we'll let that one slide. It's a joke."
Yeah, I mean, Souček literally got the gloves out of his back pocket, whipped them on, and went, "Watch this," and done an it was an unbelievable save.
It was pretty good,
from about
good reflexes.
So like from a defender, but it's just absolutely appalling decisions.
Premier League referees, isn't it? Premier League referees.
And I think the fact that we didn't even get an apology.
Yeah.
Like, come
that
on,
stinks.
Come on.
Yeah, it stinks.
I mean, I could do better, and I'm bloody at home. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. I haven't got. I mean, they say millions of pounds. You're drawing a line on a screen, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense at all.
Yeah, yeah. You're not brain surgeons.
No,
You know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
It's not,
And you know what?
not
God forbid if you are, because
yeah,
Jesus
exactly. If we're all in
Christ.
trouble. If these are the people who are our brain surgeons, we're in trouble.
Oh my
Christ.
God. So that being said, do we think an independent body controlling VAR from the outside is actually meant to, like, I think that should be a thing instead of it being internal.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the association of referees seem. I think referees are too much of a celebrity nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're too. I think they like. I was listening to another podcast, as I do, and they were saying like referees shouldn't like being a referee. It's not like a fun thing.
No,
it's hard, and you know, and you've got such massive expectations to do the right thing. I feel like too many referees like the celebrity of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
They like,
and I
they
think
like
that
the
brings an
criticism.
ego.
Yeah.
And that brings an ego. And once you get ego, you start making decisions that aren't about what's actually happening in the game. It's about what you perceive. You know, your highly inflated ego to believe is the right thing.
Yeah.
And I think that is a systemic problem within our refereeing system. And I think with VAR being brought in, it's like it's heightened it because now the technology is there. And it's so obvious most of the time that now when we see it, it's like, how can you get it wrong?
It's just
it's not even mistakes happen. It's like, how can that mistake happen?
Like,
so, yeah, definitely, it'd be good if there was, a VAR body, a panel that wasn't made up of people from the Referees Association.
I think there should
Obviously,
be major consequences. And I also think that it should be sponsored by Specsavers. Because clearly a lot of these people are actually blind. So, you know, it's one of those. But, so rounding off the game, I think we should have won it. Definitely we should have won it. Even in the first half, we should have been 3 or 4-0 up. We had quite a few, was it 2 or 3 disallowed? Or something like
two,
that.
I think 2,
something like that. So, you know, I think we should have been 3-0 up in the first half at least. But, you know, we got these players that,
this is what we do.
Don't know what an offside trap is. So, you know, it's just one of those.
Well, the last time we scored more than 1 goal in a game was Bournemouth, which was the first game back after Christmas. 27th of December. So we just don't score goals.
No.
So we have to be amazing defensively, never concede, and then maybe we'll win games. But at the moment, we just can't score more than anyone else.
You know what? Our defence, though, since January transfer window, Badiashile and Silva.
It's been classy.
Oh, amazing link up, you know. They really get each other. I think Silva's he's very nurturing in nature anyway. I think he's teaching Badiashile how to progress and be this amazing defender. And I think Badiashile's like a sponge and he's just taking it all in. The confidence of him to be so young. He's just started. He's just come into the team, and he looks like he owns the place. And I love it. Honestly,
he's class. No, I really like him. I think they're clearly a great partnership, and I'm excited to see a fully fit Reece James and Chilwell with them. But I mean, I've got no more words to say about Silva. I love the guy. He's going to go down. I don't know if I could call him a legend. Maybe if we win the Champions League again.
I think he's a legend in the whole football era for the whole football.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not a Chelsea legend, but
I think this stint at Chelsea in the last few years has kind of solidified himself as like, okay, he's one of the best centre-backs Europe's ever seen, clearly. Because if he can still do it at this age in the Premier League, he's clearly head and shoulders above others.
Imagine,
so he'll be a cult hero.
Imagine if we had him 10 years ago.
I know. It would be a dream come true. I think what I might do, I might name my first child Thiago. That might have to be the play. No. I think what I might do, there are 2 Chelsea shirts I want to get, right?
Yeah.
When Chelsea actually make a nice Chelsea shirt again, whenever that's going to be, I'm still waiting for a nice one. Nike, please. I want to get one that says Thiago, and I want to get a Conte one, because those 2 guys are like,
oh my God.
those 2 guys to me are like, you know, the Dons in the squad.
Yeah,
so.
I like the Enzo shirts now as well. To be fair, because I just like the name Enzo. To be honest,
it's cool, isn't it?
It's just cool, bro.
It's cool. Just 4 letters. Number 5 is a nice number. I know. Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, so other news around clubs and around the Chelsea ground is the new European Super League being proposed. How do you feel?
I mean, again, I don't want to be. I don't want to just say I don't like it because it's new and it's different. Because life in a lot of ways is about change and adapting. Blah blah blah. I think what's concerning is that this second round of proposals, they're like, oh, we're gonna have 60 to 80 teams, right?
Yeah.
And now there's not going to be any permanent members, and people can not be in it.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like they went obviously full bore last. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before that.
It might have been the year
Something
before
like
that. Yeah, they went full bore then, didn't they? And they tried to do this like crazy concept,
Yeah.
which was like it's just garbage. It's like the American sports model,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. That doesn't really fly with European football. Doesn't really work. And I feel like they're just bringing something back in, a competition that's a little bit like more like the European football game. To try and appease fans, be like, oh, okay, actually, you know what, this is not so bad actually. Maybe this is interesting, but I feel like it's kind of a ploy, like slip in this kind of nicer looking feeling tournament, and then over time they'll start to establish probably some of the things that they wanted to do in the first place. Because let's be honest, this is the money thing, and especially from Juventus. I know the Juventus director were super interested, Real and Barcelona, and some of the Premier Leagues as well. But certainly from some of the big clubs in Europe, because they want Premier League money, and they just don't get it because their rights don't sell the same, so they really want it. I don't know. I can't get excited about it, and I'm not. I am kind of happy with how football is right now.
Yeah.
UEFA aren't obviously a good organisation. They don't normally do good things, but the Champions League is pretty cool. And the format is supposed to change, isn't it, soon anyway? So we are going to see a different format. Hopefully that's good. I don't know.
I think one, I don't like it. I don't think we should be in it, and I also think where's these matches actually going to be like placed? Because say you're top 4 team, right, which we aren't at the moment apparently. Say you're in top 4 team, so you've got, if you're in the Prem, you've got the Premier League, obviously, right? And that's your main fixtures, that's your bread and butter, right? And then you've got Champions League on top of that. You've got FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Now say you get into the final of bloody everything, and then you've got another, I think it's 14 or 16 games on top of that with this new Super League. We are playing every 2 days anyway. If you're in them, cup finals and all that stuff, so you're already playing midweek weekends. Where are these games going to be? Like, were you just going to have a little B squad for it? Is it going to be that important that you actually win it? It's just ridiculous. Or is it going to replace the Champions League? We don't know.
Well, apparently that was the point, isn't it? Like they're trying to kind of usurp UEFA's kind of stronghold on the European competition and kind of introduce their own. So it would run alongside the Premier League season.
Yeah.
And I guess it would mean like they would become the midweek games that we play and not the Champions League games, because like we just wouldn't be signed up to the Champions League effectively. I think that's how it's supposed to work. But I mean, you could just imagine though, can't you? Like, they'll be like doing like games in Saudi Arabia and America and China. And like the travel, like 60 to 80 teams all around Europe. So the kind of places you might have to go week after week, it's not really conducive to like a kind of greener world that we're trying to develop, in this century. So to then like have clubs, like so many clubs around Europe now flying around in private jets to get to games every week, it just doesn't really work for what I feel like society is trying to achieve.
Exactly. And the good point you brought up with the travel. I mean, so say you got a game on Saturday, you do that. Sunday or even Saturday night, you're on a plane for, I don't know, 10 hours or whatever to get to wherever, if China's included, I don't know, whatever. Right? Yeah. So you're going all the way there, and then you're playing a game on Monday, say for instance. You come back, so you got another bloody 10 hours back or whatever it is, and then you got a game on Wednesday. When is recovery? When is it going to happen? Like, it's just
I'd like to think that they wouldn't be that daft, you know, and just like whack games straight after each other. But I don't know. It just seems a bit gross and a bit slimy, and I don't like the people kind of behind it.
No,
so I can't fully trust it. Really,
I think it's very greedy. I think I think there's so much money in football already. Why do we need more? It's getting increased anyway. You know, we've just bloody signed the biggest the biggest signing ever. 100 whatever it was, 106 million.
106 million, yeah.
So it's like it's already going up anyway. Like that's substantially more than the 50 million we paid. What 8 years ago, something 9 years ago for Torres. So
yeah, I guess they would argue that money though is being spent is in England, and it's not everywhere else. So they want to kind of even out the playing field to the rest of Europe.
I mean, To be
fair,
but
at the end of the day, it's an interesting. Just because you start out a new competition doesn't mean that people are going to be buzzing to see random teams. It's always going to be the top teams.
Yeah.
So
no one's going to care if you're. I mean, the top 10 teams are going to be the only ones that are going to be cared about.
Yeah.
These rest of what did you say, 60 or something like that, 50 teams?
Yeah, they said like between 60 to 80 teams.
Who are they?
I know. I know.
It's going to be Bundesliga, bloody whatever it is, championship or something.
It will be. It will be teams from all over.
You know what? And then you got to think of these teams. How are they going to afford it? Because traveling is expensive when you got your own private jet. Somebody, can you imagine Brighton doing that? Can you imagine Burnley or Nottingham Forest? These places, yes, they got money, but they've got to bloody turn around a profit at the end of the year. And who the hell's going to be tuning in to watch Super League bloody Nottingham Forest versus, I don't know, Bayer Leverkusen or
Istanbul Başakşehir. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I can't. The only thing that might interest me is if they said the rights, we're not going to sell the rights to a broadcast company. We're going to have our own app.
Yeah.
And you can watch the Super League app and you pay £5-10 a month to catch every game. Like the NBA app, which is amazing. If they did that, maybe I'd be more interested, and I hope that would kind of foster a more progressive. No, I know it won't, but if it did, that would be the only thing that would get me behind it. But other than that, I can't see myself.
They see the mention of it, Sky Sports and BT, all their just lost money in their eyes. That's all it is, and they'll be like, "I'll give you billions for the rights for it." And that's it. We're back in the bloody same boat as we are now.
Yeah,
true. We can't even watch bloody English games, let alone anywhere else.
I know. Well, I know. What was it? United and who was it? United and Leeds last week.
Yeah, not even televised.
Not even televised. On any time on British television.
And it's the only Premier League game that day. What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
How does that make sense?
Make any sense. Yeah,
moving on, Azpilicueta has come out and said he believes we can still reach the top 4. And he hinted at a Champions League final or even a win. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, right. So, knowing that this was coming up, I've just opened up our remaining Premier League fixtures, right?
Yeah.
And this is from a website called Sports Mole. I don't know if they're any good. I've never used them before. But let's have if you think about who we've got left to play, I think at the moment we're still 10 points behind top 4.
We are, yes.
Our goal difference is terrible. I don't think we've actually beaten a team in the top half this season. So that's fun. But we've got Southampton this weekend.
We have, yeah.
Who are probably going to have a new manager bounce, which is scary.
Yep.
Look at what Everton did to Arsenal last weekend or the weekend before.
Yep.
Then we've got Spurs, who are shit, but it's a big rivalry.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
Then we've still got to play Leeds, Leicester, Everton, Aston Villa, Wolves, Brighton, United, who are in amazing form, Brentford, Arsenal, still got to play Arsenal, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City on the second to last match day, and Newcastle, who are in the best season that they've ever had in the Premier League, or close to anyway. So yeah, we've got a lot of very winnable games in there.
Yeah.
But think about it this way: we didn't win against Fulham, who you'd think was a winnable game. We didn't win against West Ham, who was supposed to be a winnable game.
Yep.
So I just can't, from those remaining 10, 12 or so games, I just can't see us. I can't see us bridging that gap. I know that Newcastle are drawing a lot at the moment, but I think Man United have basically guaranteed their spot now.
Yeah.
Arsenal and Man City obviously have. I don't trust Liverpool to get there.
No.
But I think this is the season where we're going to see, if Newcastle drop out, we'll see a Brighton or a Fulham just sneak in somehow, because they are at the moment playing that well. So
saying about form, we've got Borussia Dortmund actually tonight in
it's
about an hour
tonight,
and a half.
yeah, not long.
And they're on how many games win streak? 8, is it?
They haven't lost. Yeah, they haven't lost since they came back from their Christmas break.
Exactly. So saying that we're going to even be in the Champions League final is a stretch.
I can't.
I honestly don't think this team's up to it, and I don't think we've had enough time to really settle in. And I think again we just need a number 9 man. We need someone who bangs in goals. Even though we have got like the likes of João Felix who just takes a shot whenever he wants, and I love that. But it's just one of those. I think Aspie's saying this as a captain from a captain's perspective. He's gone, listen, boys, we can do this. And then he said it on media, and then the media's put that out, and obviously everybody will see it, and then gets everybody hyped. Oh, we can still do it, but let's be realistic. It's probably not going to happen. But are we going to reach top 6? Are we going to be in the Europa?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's obviously more attainable. I think like this. I think we have currently a 2% chance of reaching the top 4, according to like a bookmaker. So it's not looking good, Brett. As you said, Asby's just got to be positive. He's the captain. You've got to say positive things to try and G people up. Maybe a top 6 is attainable. I think we could easily finish like in the European competition realm.
Do you want to though?
But it's obviously and we've said this to each other before, haven't we? Like, I would actually rather not.
Yeah.
And have a full like what we did under Conte when in his first season when we batted up the league. The best thing about that was we had no European games to play,
exactly.
so we just played Premier League week after week, and the squad were able to, they changed the formation after we got slapped by Arsenal in that season, and then they're like, right, we'll stick to this and let's keep doing it, let's run it back, and it worked. Obviously, it really worked. We won like 30 Premier League games, which at that point was a record. And Man City come and did their thing later on, but. Yeah, no,
I think it needs to happen again.
Maybe I'd take the Europa because we've got a young squad now with lots of young players, and maybe it's a good way for them to just play more games, and that's cool. But don't get me anywhere near the Europa Conference.
I honestly hope we don't. I hope we don't get no European football, even though that's a bad thing to say. But as we said before, we can focus. We can focus on the Prem. We've got 2 cups as well to play for as well.
True. It'd be nice to win an FA Cup.
Oh, it'd be nice to do a little triple, little triple in there,
wouldn't it?
Imagine
little
it,
cheeky triple.
little cheeky triple. Who cares about Champions League, But
we won 2.
I think
we won 2 already.
Exactly, bruv. Exactly. Let everybody else catch up. But I think no European football will be a blessing in disguise, a little bit of a silver lining for us, even though we will get obviously less money for not going into one. But it is what it is. That's sort of like my take on it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree. Like, I think I do basically agree that it would probably be better that we wouldn't, and we can just play out a nice full season with lots of rest. Not too many games.
Get everybody intertwined.
And do a good cup run, and actually, and for once, have a Premier League season where we're close to the top.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick and tired of us. I think it's been like 4 seasons in a row now. We are over 20 points behind first.
Yeah.
And for a club of our stature and the amount of money we spend on wages and transfers, it's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke.
Yeah.
So we really need to be getting closer to the top. Not saying we should push for a win, but let's get closer to the top and start to have these players feel confident that they belong amongst, the Man Cities. And well, that's all I'm going to say because I don't trust Arsenal to be good next season or Liverpool. So
we'll see what happens. So next up, we've got Chile is apparently a top target for Man City. How do you feel about that one?
Nah, allow it, innit? He won't leave. I think he's clearly got a good relationship with a lot of players at the club. If you look at all of the promotional material that we do, Chile's always there. You know what I mean? So he gets paid really good money. Because Cuckoo's so bad at the moment, he's almost guaranteed a spot.
Exactly.
So he's going to play every game for the foreseeable if he can stay fit. So, I think this is just typical paper talk. They saw Cancelo leave. They just assumed, they'll be in for Chilwell.
Well, that's the other thing.
Maybe they'll try to.
Apparently, Cancelo we might be in for a shot for Cancelo because his his buyout clause. Where's he gone? Bayern Munich, is it?
Bayern Munich on loan.
So if Bayern Munich doesn't trigger the buyout clause, apparently we're going to swoop in and get him. And I'm like, we don't really need him. I mean, with Lewis Hall coming up, we've got Cucurella, and then we've got Chile. So I mean, we've got three there.
And the Ian Martson, who's playing for Burnley at the moment in the Championship, who are top of the Championship, he actually just got the Championship Player of the Month for January.
Wow!
Who is getting loads of assists and dominating. So that's another one that he's still on our books and still potential.
Yeah. So I think Chile for Man City, as much as the Man City fans might like to see that, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to do exactly what Gallagher done with Newcastle and Everton and tell him to stick it. So I think we're all safe there. Potter.
The P man.
Yeah,
Big P.
Good old Big G. You know.
Yeah.
Thoughts? What are we doing with him?
Well, so obviously after the game. After the West Ham game, obviously we're all feeling a bit riled up, a bit angry. For every report I've seen, or most reports I've seen, saying that he's safe, nothing's going to happen to him, and I get that, and I actually do agree with that. I think as Premier League fans and as Chelsea fans, we're very used to quick turnover of players, managers, and it has been something we've been asking for years. Let's have let's actually put some time and commit to someone and let them figure it out, and that can that might happen. A lot of people are saying he might be like Arteta, he might take us to the top again. One thing I would say, I saw a really good analysis on Reddit that showed that Arteta increased Arsenal's points per game dramatically when he joined, by about 0.2%.
Right.
When he joined, and that was straight away. Even during those kind of rough seasons where they finished 8th under him and 5th. But he has increased slowly their points per game. Whereas when Potter's come in, our points per game has plummeted, basically, by 0.3%. So it's actually not the same as Arteta, because Arteta came in and instantly improved Arsenal in terms of the amount of points they were getting. Potter has taken us down and down. It feels like down quite a lot.
The thing is, you say that, but where was Arsenal to be improved? And
that's true.
Whereas Chelsea was on top of a mountain, and he's now bringing us down into the slums. So it's one of those.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget how bad we were playing under Tuchel as well. We did lose to Southampton and Leeds. So and I don't think we actually played a good game of football for about a year under Tuchel, and I mean that. But as he said in the summer when we got trounced by Arsenal in that pre-season, it was 4-0.
Yeah.
He said, we have the same players, so why is there going to be any difference?
No, exactly.
And at that time, the midfield hadn't been refreshed. We didn't have the kind of, obviously we'd had signings of Koulibaly and Sterling, but they were like for replacements for players that had left. Yeah, because of poor squad planning from the previous regime. So, Potter's all right. Obviously, we're all annoyed that he doesn't get angry. People seem to be annoyed he doesn't get angry enough. Are you bothered about that?
I think after that VAR thing, I think I really looked at it and I was like, you know what? Why hasn't he got that passion? Why hasn't he got that burning desire to be like, this is an outrage? Pep, Klopp, Mourinho would have been off the chain. But you know what? It's quite refreshing not to see that at the same time. I did have to take a couple of days to actually put that in my mind and think about it. And in the latest press conference for Borussia Dortmund, Potter was questioned about it, and they said, why are you always calm? Why didn't you have that, the big uproar about the VAR decision? And he said, well, I've always been calm throughout my whole career, and if you think I've gone from, bloody League 10 or whatever the bloody thing was.
The ninth tier of English football.
Exactly, ninth tier of English football, and I've been calm all this way, and now I'm managing Chelsea. You don't know anything about anything. And I think that quote is quite bad, but I think he gets across the point of you don't have to let your emotions be on your sleeve. He said he was angry. He said he was upset with the decision. He just didn't take it out on the media or on VAR or anyone. He said if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have internal discussions with the people themselves instead of just splashing out on media. And I think what, it's quite refreshing to see. And I think Todd Bowley's going to stick with him because he's a safe bet. Because if you go with Pep, Klopp or whoever, I think
They're loud.
They're very loud, very loud.
And they make headlines, don't they? And
Exactly.
maybe it's not
and
the attention that we
sometimes
want.
you don't want the attention, you know?
Yeah,
How long did we see Arsenal without attention with Arteta? You know,
Yeah.
you didn't really hear about anything going on. I mean, this season already, you got Pep and Klopp bloody shouting their heads off.
I know,
And
yeah.
you know,
Crying.
people say you know any publicity is good publicity, but it's really not, because it's really bad look on your team. And if your manager can't keep it together, then your team certainly can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at Nathan Jones, who just literally got sacked by Southampton the other day.
Yeah.
The guy was putting out the weirdest like press conferences.
Yeah.
Like just not very professional and calm and chill. And that was so embarrassing for the club that they were like, look, we just signed this guy as a manager 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's actually more embarrassing for us to keep him on and have him keep doing these press conferences than us to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something, and I'm the same way as you. After the game, I thought he was too calm, but after a couple of days to think about it, I realised, well, actually, when you think about it, true strength is being able to stay calm in moments of adversity, right? So if anything, it shows that he's not like a crybaby like Klopp can be, or like, you know, managers we've had in the past. And yeah, it's fun to get angry with them.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's like we get to feel our frustration through our manager, and sometimes that can be nice and can feel good. But you are right. If he's nuts and keeps losing control, that kind of thing kind of like graduates down to the team.
Exactly.
And maybe it's actually a good lesson of like, you need to have a cool head, because you make better decisions when you're not, you know, frustrated.
So if that passes down to the team in the dressing room, on the field when we're 3-0 down, I remember one time we were 3-0 down against Tottenham, and then our second half we came back and won 4-3. So it's like it's that thing of having that calmness about you. Make your decisions. Don't get irate over the result or how many things you conceded, or if you've done an own goal or whatever. Bounce back. Think of it logically. How can we rectify this situation? And I think also saying about, you know, as us fans getting our anger through Potter, I think it's good that he didn't, because I think it actually calmed the situation down a lot quicker than it would have. I think if he had an outrage and outburst and all that, it would be everywhere, all over media and everything like that. I mean, we're on Wednesday now. It would have still been going now. But I think because he had that calmness about it, and obviously he's done internal discussions. He's, you know, sent emails, had a little phone chat, you know, something like that. But I think not sharing that with us is a good thing, because then it calms us down. And therefore, we think about it logically as well. So
I mean, Joe Cole said that obviously he worked under loads of managers.
Yeah.
He said that the thing that he said was maybe him getting a bit riled up and angry for the cameras maybe would take away the pressure of the actual result. Because you're right. Instead of me getting so annoyed about the decision, I was actually thinking, well, it's just another poor performance, another poor result again. So I don't know. Maybe that actually puts more pressure on him. But what you said just a minute ago was true. I think the current regime, I think the news stories they want to be coming out of Chelsea is that we're signing these, like, we're really interested in signing putting together an amazing team.
Yeah.
I mean, literally just today I was seeing stories of Jude Bellingham being on our radar big time for the summer. I think they want more stories like that. They don't want stories about a manager who's going nuts, you know, after games. They just want positive news stories, which, you know, good for PR, I guess. Maybe not always the best for the fans, but
exactly.
But yeah, no. After a few days, I can see the logic to it, and I agree. I think it's probably best just to you know, remain.
I think as much as we want to get rid of Potter right now, I think obviously we're going to be.
I want to say now. I want to put down and say I don't actually want to get rid of him.
I'm a bit in between. I'm not going to lie.
I am closer to wanting it than I was a few weeks ago, but I'm still like, no, I want to be mature. I want to be adult. I don't just want to get rid of the toy because I'm bored of it.
No, exactly.
I want to try and stick it through.
Nurture it, you know, and see what happens, because we're in this transition phase now. A lot of, well, basically everything in Chelsea has changed except for the bloody name.
Everything, yeah.
So
everything,
I think getting rid of this old stigma of, you know, managers last about 2 months.
Yeah, hire and fire,
and that's
hire
it,
and fire.
So I think it's a good thing to have sort of a longevity plan in place, and I think Potter maybe is the right guy for it, but just look at the subs you're doing, bro. Like,
Yeah,
just
come on,
come
sort
on,
the subs out,
come on. We
man.
know
You're
Ziyech
doing,
is good. Ship him off
yeah,
to France. Don't worry about him.
yeah. Move him on.
So just to finish off the club news, Andre
Yeah.
Santos is going to get his work permit. So just to let everybody know, he's an absolute bowler.
6 goals. 6 goals from midfield
bowler.
in the under-20
Yep.
Sudamericano
And
tournament.
scored in
Captained
the final
them.
as well. Scored
And
in
scored
the
in the final, yeah,
So,
and captained him. And there's videos of him in the dressing room.
Yep.
And he's a leader and a captain, even at like 18 that he is. So
Exactly.
I'm really, who knows if he'll get cracking straight away.
Yep.
But Kovacic is always injured. Kante's always injured. Let's give him a try.
Yeah, exactly. And
Enzo and Andre.
Andre.
Let's have him.
Enzo
Yeah, it took me a
Andre,
bit of time to think about that.
And also he has also come out and said, getting his work permit coming to London, he never wants to leave once he's here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he
I
doesn't
think
want to go
that'll
alone.
change
He wants to
when you
fight for
see
his spot.
Slough and stuff, but
Yeah.
but
When you go on a day trip to Hayes Town, you'll be like, oh,
go to Usley. Ooh.
not for me, not for me.
Good old Uxbridge trip, right? Okay, so just to update you on the women's, we absolutely smashed West Ham last week, 7-0.
7-0, yeah.
With Sam Kerr scoring a tremendous 4 goals. I mean,
Are we allowed to have her up front for us in the next game?
You know
Can
what?
we do that legally?
Let's just have a look at the Champions League rules and stuff.
Yeah, let's have a look at the squad,
Maybe she can go onto the B team. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. She'll just sign in.
Yeah. Put a little mustache on her. She's good to go. Good to go, you know.
Yeah, they'll fall for it.
Bloody hell, I would love her in the first team, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
she's class.
ridiculous.
She is class, yeah.
We have also drew in the UEFA Women's Champions League. We've drew Lyon in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, women's football powerhouses Lyon are good and have been good for a very long time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really tough match.
But you know what? If we're smashing people 7-0, I think they'll do just fine. Honestly,
I think the women's team seem really strong at the moment.
They are. I mean, you know what? The actual whole team as well, not even just a few players. We've got 15 women from our team getting called up for their nations. That's outrageous.
That's what you want. That's literally that's when you know you filled a squad full of like top talent.
Absolute legends.
So they are super strong and they look the most likely to win the league again this season, which I think might be the 4th in a row.
Yeah, they're
the 3rd in a row.
Quality.
So yeah, hopefully they can continue banging the goals and keep playing well. So it's good. It's good for the club, isn't it? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
The more winning, the merrier.
Oh yeah, and you know what? They're the only ones winning anything at the moment. So I love all that.
Exactly.
Love all that. And
Exactly.
big up to Emma Hayes as well. Just keeping on that grind, man.
Keep on keeping on. Keep
Jesus Christ! Like the wins are unreal. So any news?
Should we talk about the youth?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the youth. YOOF. So the last game that the development squad had, so technically the under 23s, they had a 3-2 win against Blackburn. Amari Hutchinson scored.
Okay.
And Dion Rankin as well. Both players who have been in first team squads this season at some point. Hutchinson, unfortunately, I think his 2 games where he actually played were against Man City, so he didn't do much. But what can you do about that? But Lewis Hall also played in this game.
Yep.
He did unfortunately score an own goal. So it could have been a 3-1, maybe a bit more comfortable, but it was a 3-2.
You know what? Chin up. It's all good.
Chin up, lad. It happens to the best of us. The next game that they've got actually Liverpool development squad and Arsenal development squad in the next 2 fixtures. So Liverpool this weekend and Arsenal next weekend.
That's
so
quite
they've got a tough
games.
couple games,
Yeah.
at least based on the strength of the men's team.
Yeah.
I don't know how good their youth setups are. I know Arsenal is normally pretty good. So who knows? Maybe Liverpool's pretty good as well. And then the under 18s. Their last game was a 3-1 win over West Ham.
Nice.
Chelsea Youth on Twitter, a good account if you're interested in any of the youth setup. An independent account, not a Chelsea account. He said it was a really good win over West Ham and a strong under 18 for West Ham as well. And a good bounce back from apparently some kind of patchy form. But Donnell McNeely scored twice.
Go on, McNeely,
not heard of him
lads.
before. And then another goal added by Tudor Mendel Idowu, who I have heard of before. Apparently he's very highly rated. Yeah, great name.
Yeah.
And so, the under 18s also have Arsenal in their next game. That's this Saturday. probably a big game for them
know what?
against the young Gunners.
That's a bit crazy that West Ham was all three different sort of like divisions in Chelsea. All three were West Ham last game.
Yeah, that must be a thing,
That
right?
is so
Oh, I don't know. Well, no,
strange.
Blackburn was the development
Oh,
squad.
right. Okay.
Blackburn,
I'll let you off.
But 2 out of
on
3, though,
So,
it's not a bad ratio, is it?
Rival watch, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Rival watch.
Let's get it on with this big, juicy story. Man City in the breach of 100 rules of financial fair play. What were we saying?
So, obviously, this broke, about a week? It feels like about a week ago now.
Yeah, about a week ago,
I mean, executioner, drop the axe. Like, everyone, it's the worst kept secret in Premier League football. We all know they're fudging the rules to make more money from their sponsorships. Allegedly, I should say. Legally, I should say allegedly.
Allegedly, boys.
So, 100 breaches is historic. It's a massive amount. We got a 2-window ban for signing Gail Kakuta when he was too young, like 10 years ago. And we had to serve that in 2019-20 season.
Yeah.
So if that's for a breach of that type of rule, which is actually given to us by UEFA, not by the Premier League, then 100 breaches,
over 100 breaches
alleged,
or more,
based on their kind of initial investigation, a 4-year investigation, that is never been seen before. This could take months. It's outrageous. This could take months to kind of all get worked out.
It's got to take years. I mean, it's took them 4 years to investigate them right now. It's gone to a independent body now. So that's going to take probably another 4 years, let's be honest. Because everybody's so slow at bloody doing everything. But
City have hired a lawyer who... his name is I can't remember his first name, but his second name is Panic, which is quite funny.
Don't panic, we've got Panic.
Yeah, we've got Panic. But apparently he charges $5,500 an hour.
Jesus,
that's the kind of
we're in the wrong
game.
game. We're in the wrong game.
No,
Jesus.
I know. So I mean, they're in trouble in a big way. Hopefully, the Premier League can actually have some cojones and actually drop the hammer on them and give them a proper punishment, because there's no point doing a fine because they're so rich it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So you have to dock points, you have to relegate. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they'll probably just get dock points, to be honest.
I think points probably the main one, and I think they're probably going to include a fine because everybody's greedy. But I think with the UEFA, obviously they banned City, and did it get overturned? I can't remember correctly, but that was like 4 years ago or something. But the thing is, with UEFA, they have a time span, and there's a limit. I think it's 6 years back. If anything before then, they don't care. But with the Premier League, there is no time span. So we can go all the way back to the start of the Premier League and do you in for that. So I think from 2009 to 2018, I think it was, or something like that, wasn't it? Or 2000, something like that. I think 100 breaches. Everybody's saying. I say everybody. Majority of people saying maybe relegation. I mean, it's a possibility in the rules. It is a possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen.
The EFL don't have to accept them coming down.
No,
they don't. Like the EFL don't. They could say, no, we're not taking Man City. We don't want them in. If they've broken all those rules in your league, what the hell are they going to do in our league? So they don't have to take them. So I think probably the most likely is, give them a massive points deduction at the beginning of the season. Like next season, start them on -30.
Yeah.
And then if they can get out of the relegation with
fair
that,
enough.
Fair enough. I guess that would be annoying. But if they can do it, but if not, they get relegated the way that sports teams get relegated. You have the lowest points, you get relegated.
Yeah.
And then they'll be in the championship for a season. In the long run, it's not going to affect them. Obviously, there's a sovereign oil nation own them and they have unlimited amounts of money. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it would be maybe nice just to see some actual what feels like a decent punishment.
Yeah.
And then you might think all their squad would be like, bruv, we play in. We're like the best players in Europe. We're not going to play in the championship for a season. I ain't got time for that. Anybody got time for it? So I reckon they'll jump ship quickly, and so maybe the knock-on impact on their squad will be what really hurts them, because they're going to have to rebuild a whole squad.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to go about 30 point fine, 30 point fine, 30 point deduction, and probably
Yeah.
just some hefty fine. But I mean,
Yeah.
the fine means nothing. Pep,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if his contract will run out by the time they get their actual decision. Oh, and by the way, we won't know what the hell's happening in the investigation until a decision is made. So we don't even know. So once the independent body is done, gone back to the Premier League, we won't even know if they've even found anything. We don't know if it's going to change. The only thing we will know is the actual the outcome of it, and if they get punished or not. That is literally all we'll know. So it's all in the dark. So therefore, I mean, I don't want to think, but speculation. A little bit of brown envelopes everywhere.
Yeah,
you know?
brown
envelopes.
yeah.
Backing them out.
Yeah, we'll
you know what I
see.
mean? Brown
Yeah.
envelopes full of oil. So we'll see what happens there. In other news, again, Manchester, but Manchester United this time. Elon Musk making a £4.5 billion bid for Manchester United.
Yeah. Where did you? I haven't seen this myself. I have seen interest from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who actually tried to buy us when we were up for sale not long ago. Who apparently he actually is a United fan as well. Apparently, anyway. I don't think anyone that rich and posh is probably not a big football fan, but there we go. But yeah, I mean, United are in a good spot. Obviously, if they can get rid of the Glazers, then that's going to be better for their long-term prospects. But maybe Ten Hag and them playing much better at the moment might kind of, if they are more successful, maybe the Glazers might want to hang them out.
Yeah. I've just been researching just to see where I actually got it from because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But there is multiple articles on the Evening News, Daily Express, Mirror.
I
mean, it's not pen to paper at the moment. Obviously,
No, of course
it's just a little interest, and I don't know. I'm not too sure if the actual bid has gone in, but it's rumored to be around about 4.5 mil. So
anyone who buys United, if they do the kind of things that our new owners are doing, then United are going to be a problem because they've got the biggest fan base, the biggest stadium, the biggest kind of like, I'm not going to say the biggest history. Allow it. Chelsea got the biggest history, obviously, bruv. Come on. But they are. I think they've got so much good potential that if they did get proper owners, then they'd be a problem again, like they were when Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge. But also, Elon Musk is basically a kid with the world's biggest toy box and too much money.
He literally is.
And this is just publicity for him. I don't think he would do anything like that and try and buy them.
Probably
He's
not.
just spent way too much money on Twitter anyway. So
45 bill.
but they will be bought. If the Glazers are actually selling up, they will be bought, and it will be a bit scary. And hopefully, their terrible owners are not good ones. And also, 4.5 billion seems quite low. If you consider that we got sold for, I think, just under 4 billion.
I think it's 4.1 or something like that.
Obviously, we're a club of large international acclaim, and we have big stature, but not like United. So surely the United's got to be like 6 billion.
But then again, ours was quite a rushed thing, and plus it was dictated by the government. So therefore, we didn't actually get like the bids, because the bids were like, right, we can get this cheap now because they need to be sold. Otherwise, it would have been no more, or government run, bloody heaven forbid. So I think we probably would have sold about 6-7 billion, maybe something like that. But because of the government, because of everything going on in the world, I think we got reduced quite a lot. A good hefty discount. Hefty discount.
That's a good
point. I think Man United's probably worth about 6-7 billion myself. Just from the bloody revenue. I mean, the revenue, the merchandise. I mean, worldwide is mad.
Yeah.
So I think I also don't think he'll do much with them. I think he'll just be surrounded by a load of advisors. Because does he watch football? Don't think so.
No, he's just a banter merchant. He just loves having his name in the headlines.
Exactly. I think
it's not going to be him. It's not going to be him. But it'll be someone else.
See, I thought that about Todd Bowley. I thought Todd Bowley, he's just going to buy it with is it Clear Capital or whatever. Clear Lake, that's the one. I thought he was just going to buy it and just leave us, get it bored and they'll do it.
Yeah.
But you know what? To be fair to him, he was even at the West Ham game. He has been at most home games this season, and I've seen him in the away stands, even though he's playing Clash of Clans on his phone. But we move.
This guy's air miles is absolutely overflowing at the moment. Yeah. He's literally that flight from bloody wherever he lives, California to London is.
Crazy. But you know what? I respect it. So,
respect it.
Other news around our top sort of rivals. Hugo Lloris is out for 6 weeks. More.
Fraser Forster is now in goal. I mean, Tottenham beat Man City a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. They then went on to lose 4-1 to Leicester on the weekend, and they just lost to AC Milan last night. An AC Milan in terrible form as well in the Champions League. So they're yo-yoing a lot like us. Yeah. Actually, I feel like we're just kind of bad consistently. They have good, bad, good, bad. But that's Conte, though, and he's clearly not happy, and he will leave. But Lloris missing. The bad thing is that I would call it a big loss, but he's been so bad this season. Yeah. It's almost not. But then Fraser Forster,
isn't any
how
better.
Good is he?
Is
that a good replacement? No, exactly. So
I mean, a bad season from Lloris is probably his... what's his name again?
It's a good season for Fraser.
Fraser, that's the one. So I think it'll probably be a good season for him. So
maybe
it's swings and roundabouts with that one. Another thing is Gakpo. He scored his first goal for Liverpool on Monday against Everton. Is it too early for him to be in this Liverpool squad? Do you think he's fitting in? He's 23. He got bought for 37 million. Is he? Do you think he was worth it? Or
well, one thing I'd like to say quickly is that can everyone stop pretending that Liverpool don't ever buy expensive players? Because the whole narrative around Liverpool is that they're grassroots, man. They don't go and spend loads of money on players. That's bullshit. They've got loads of like plus £40 million players in their squad. So I don't want to hear that narrative. And he is close to being one of those plus £40 million players. I mean, he has looked stinky every time I've seen him play, which isn't much to be fair, but he looked okay in the World Cup. But he has looked rough. Like some of the shots I've seen him take on. I think in his defence, Klopp has paid him quite a lot up front, and he's not a striker. No. He's a winger, very much so a winger. So I don't think that helps his cause. But he has looked pretty smelly. It's annoying that he got his first goal. It would have been nice to see him not score the whole season.
It's against Everton though. So
Everton,
I mean,
I know.
It's not, I don't know. It's not that impressive.
Maybe that will kind of kickstart his kind of season or Liverpool career. But what's weird is that Liverpool, Jota and Diaz are both currently injured, and I don't know how far away they are from coming back. But so where does Gakpo belong when Diaz and Jota come back and Salah's still there and Firmino's still there? I mean, Firmino probably won't play much from now on forever, but it felt like the wrong type of purchase for Liverpool at this point.
I feel exactly the same.
I feel like there was interest from United, and they just they were like, F it, let's just take a chance, and maybe he is this good, and if United are that interested, maybe we should get him. But I don't know. He doesn't look super convincing, but maybe people could say the same about Mudryk for us. So I don't want to go too mad on him because he's only young, he's got time. And he might come good.
Oh, you never know. I think that rounds it up for this podcast.
I'd say so. I think we've had a good chat.
Good first episode. We shall be doing this every week, coming out on a Friday. And if you want to catch up with us, just hit any of our bloody social links. We've got shorts everywhere and everywhere if you want to listen to the podcast on Spotify or whatever. But it's been a great episode 1, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been fun. It's fun to talk about Chelsea, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
just get off my chest,
Just get off my chest, man. I need to. I get so pent up and frustrated that it's nice to let it all out. And as you just said, if you have listened, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, it would be good, as you said, if there are any things you think that we could improve or get a bit, bit better at, then drop us some feedback. That's always nice. It could be good, it could be bad.
Yeah, comment anything.
But every little helps.
Comment anything. If we brought up any points that you want to see go over again or whatever. But thank you for watching / listening wherever you are.
Yes,
and hope you have a great weekend.
We'll see you soon.
In a bit.
Thanks for listening to The Pride. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and maybe drop a like or follow on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram pages. And as always, up the Chels!